Howdy, hey, how is everybody doing, and welcome back to Disney Daily. I just got done watching episode 1 of Monsters at Work, the newest series on Disney+, which shows us life in Monstropolis after the events in the 2001 movie Monsters, Inc. Now, for those of you who have been with my channel for a couple of months, you already know I wasn't super excited for this series. In fact, I was dreading it mostly because I felt Pixar never really gave us closure on Mike, Sulley, and Boo's dynamic. So initially, I was against any new material, but upon watching these first 2 episodes, I have completely changed my tune and believe wholeheartedly that Monsters, Inc. is back and dare I say better than ever. In today's video, I am going to break down episode 1 of the series, so just a heads up, spoilers ahead, and if you want to see the episode for yourself, it is available now on Disney+. Now, with all of that being said, let's dive into episode 1. Right off the bat, episode 1 had me overcome with nostalgia. The first sequence shows a kid in his bedroom and a monster sneaking in through the closet door, waiting to scare at the right moment. As the monster rises up behind the child, we can clearly see it is Tyler, the leading role of the series. He scares the kid, who we soon find out is fake, and his roar causes the kid robot to actually malfunction. Delighted by his performance, the camera pans out and we see that Tyler is performing his scare tactic in front of his professor at Monsters University. The professor is very impressed and tells him he scored higher than the legend himself, James P. Sullivan. He also tells Tyler that he will be going straight to Monsters, Inc. and hands him a letter. As Tyler reads it out loud, he quickly realizes that they want him as a scarer and that he must report Monday for his first assignment. The next scene cuts to Monsters, Inc. and I can't tell you guys how happy I was. I literally started crying seeing all the familiar monsters from the original movie appear on screen, including the company receptionist and Mike's girlfriend Celia. We even get to see the geeky young monsters Smitty and Needleman from the first movie. In the scene, the monsters have just received word that they won't be scaring anymore and they aren't sure about their futures in the company. The camera then pans to company legends Mike and Sully, who walk up to Celia and find out that they are wanted in Mr. Waternoose's office. As the monsters walk into his office, they are met with one of my favorite characters, Roz, head of the CDA, who tells Mike and Sully that they are now in charge of Monsters, Inc. Sully is in complete disbelief, while Mike, on the other hand, couldn't be more excited and immediately tries to come up with a new slogan for the business. Roz also tells the 2 monsters before exiting that her sister will be joining the company soon also. I have to add that the whole time in the opening sequences, the power seems to be going off and Sully turns to Mike and says they need to find funny monsters so that they can keep the power on and going. The next scene cuts to eager Tyler taking his first steps into the company. As he is sent to Miss Flint, she tells him that there has been a change and that he must attend new hire orientation. When Tyler sits down to watch a clip about the company's new message, he quickly realizes that he may not have the skills they are looking for anymore. It is then that one of the monsters sends him to MIFT. As Tyler tries to locate MIFT, he runs into a yellow U-shaped monster named Val Little, who seems to remember Tyler more than he remembers her. As Tyler explains he is looking for MIFT, a look of excitement rushes over Val's face and she explains to him that is where she works and that she could take him there. As the 2 pass the laugh floor, they take an elevator down to a dark and dingy road that leads to a building labeled maintenance. As Tyler walks in, he is greeted by a grungy break room with a couple of very unique looking monsters. The first one Tyler is introduced to is a blue monster with a trunk-like nose called Fritz, who explains to the young monster what MIFT is. Fritz reveals that MIFT's job is to basically be the mechanics of the whole entire company. MIFT is the backbone, according to Fritz, and he is beyond excited that Tyler is joining the team. Tyler then goes on to meet the other members of the MIFT team. First, there is Cutter, the octopus-looking character who makes him drink lubricant. Then there is Banana Bread, who just might be my favorite character of the whole series, who doesn't speak any words, instead just makes noises and brings banana bread in with him every single day, according to Val. Last but not least, there is a green monster with multiple eyes and wings named Duncan, who is very possessive of his place in the MIFT hierarchy. He quickly lectures Tyler on how he won't be stealing his place as boss once Fritz goes. But Tyler is caught off guard because he wants nothing to do with MIFT and is in complete shock that this is where he is going to be working. Tyler then runs outside for a breather and looks back on the letter he was sent. His disappointment soon fades to curiosity, and the next shot shows him rolling into the laughter floor. After accidentally knocking over the laugh canisters, Tyler draws the attention of Mike, who asks if Miss Flint sent him, to which he replies vaguely. Mike then asks his fellow workers to bring him a door so that they can see what the new monster has got. As Tyler enters the room of a child holding a Winnie the Pooh toy, he clearly has no idea what to do and the whole situation becomes a disaster. The child goes through the door into the factory as Tyler tries to chase him down, but in the process he knocks over a pile of canisters that begin shooting off like missiles, and all of the doors hanging from the ceiling begin to fall. Tyler manages to get the child back into his bedroom, but quickly discovers the mess he has made of the laugh floor. The next scene shows Tyler apologizing to Mike and Sulley and that they will never see him ever again. But Mike and Sulley are more than understanding and in fact recognize Tyler and know of his spectacular performance at Monsters University. Mike then turns to Tyler and says that he will teach classes that focus on turning scary monsters into funny ones. This scene in particular was really beautiful to watch because you got a sense that Mike and Sulley saw themselves in Tyler and really wanted him to succeed. Without even knowing it, Tyler creates the company's new slogan, "It's laughter we're after." And it is after this that it finally feels like the new chapter has officially begun. As Mike rejoices, he hears "Wazowski" in the distance. Anticipating Roz, Mike turns around to find Roz's sister, Rose, who rocks a mean pink mohawk. Rose reveals that the new kid's hat and ID have been delivered, and Tyler eagerly grabs his newest work materials. As the MIFT team shows up, they get to work cleaning the laugh floor together. The last scene shows Tyler with his letter again, but this time instead of reading it, he is writing on it. He scratches out where the letter says scarer and puts jokester, showing that he is really trying to embrace his new role. This episode really brought back a lot of memories for me, and honestly, they did a good job of blending the old with the new. I love that Mike and Sulley were present for a lot of the episode and took on a completely different attitude than the previous boss of Monsters Inc., Mr. Waternews. I think Mike will continue to have a big role in this series because he does say that he will be teaching the new hires how to be a jokester, so that has me hopeful about the rest of the series. I don't have many theories as of now in regards to the storyline or the characters, but I do think there is going to be some sort of rivalry between Tyler and Duncan. Well, that concludes this episode of Disney Daily. Let me know what you thought in the comments below and who your new favorite character is. As always, thanks for being my guest here at Disney Daily. Until next time.